Hello there, I'm David Amilati. Our parent company, Sinclair Broadcasting and KHQA, continue to work for you, keeping you informed on complex political issues facing our nation. And we continue our Connect to Congress initiative right now with U.S. Representative Darin LaHood from Illinois' 18th District. He joins us via satellite in Washington, D.C. Congressman LaHood, the House recently approved $25,000 for each member to add additional security measures. How will you use this money?
Well, we haven't determined that yet. I think after the shooting that occurred at the baseball field and the tragedy that occurred with Whip Scalise, I think all offices are looking at how they can protect staff and also make sure that security is a top priority, and we'll do that in our office. We're doing a review of that both in the district and out here, and we'll make a determination if that money can be spent appropriately in our office, and we'll have a decision on that shortly.
Second question for you today. What are your thoughts on the Senate's health care bill and its chances of passing the chamber?
Yeah, I wish the Senate would have taken that up today. I think in our district, people want relief when it comes to health care. Premiums have gone up an average of 55% in our district. Deductibles are way too high. All of the promises that were made with Obamacare have not come to fruition. Being able to keep your doctor, having a lot more health care options, having low-cost health care. None of those things happen. So we have an obligation now to fix health care. We passed a bill in the House, which I believe was a step in the right direction. Now we've kicked it over to the Senate, and frankly, the American people want us to work and get our health care system straightened out. I'm hopeful when they come back after July 4th, they can do that, and we can work on a bill that we can work together on to bring relief when it comes to health care and lower the cost of health care for average working Americans. That's really what we need to do.
Now, do you support the Supreme Court's decision to uphold the travel ban until they reach a ruling on it?
I do. I think President Trump ended up being correct with his travel ban. If you think about the countries that are involved with this travel ban, we're talking about really lawless countries that have had a long history involved with terrorism. Libya, Somalia, Sudan, Yemen, Iran, and Syria. These 6 countries, and it just pertains to this. What people don't talk enough about is when somebody wants to come from, say, Somalia, there is no infrastructure in the country of Somalia for them to vet these people before they get here. All we ask, all the president asks in this travel ban is we want extreme vetting to make sure that people that want to harm America are vetted in those countries before they get here. We've had way too many tragedies in this country and around the world with people that have come to harm America and other Western democracies. So I'm happy the Supreme Court upheld the president's travel ban, and I know they're going to take up the case later this fall.
Now, you did introduce a bill on abandoned mine reclamation, which passed out of the committee yesterday. Can you tell us more about what that bill is trying to achieve?
Yeah, sure. So was happy to get this legislation passed in a bipartisan way out of the Natural Resources Committee. In our district, western and west central Illinois, there's a lot of abandoned mines from coal mines, strip mining that has gone on. And across the country, there are over $10 billion worth of abandoned mines where coal companies, 60, 70 years ago abandoned these lands. Our bill, what it says is if a benevolent or a Good Samaritan group wants to come in and clean up that land, they should be allowed to do that. So Ducks Unlimited, the Nature Conservancy, lots of other organizations that want to fix our environment should be allowed to do that. So what we do is we tell them if you meet the proper requirements, you can come in and take over this land, whether that's in Western Illinois or whether that's anywhere around the country. Pennsylvania has done a very good job at the state level of doing this. Our legislation allows these groups to come in and not be subject to the liability that they would have under a previous law. And you look at where this has been successful, you end up cleaning up this land, creating wetlands, creating recreational areas for fishing and hunting and boating areas, and that's really what we want to do is encourage, again, Good Samaritans, really generous, benevolent groups that want to come in to help clean up our land to do that. I think it's a win-win for our communities, and it's going to be a win-win for the country. We hope to have it on the House floor when we come back for 4th of July and get it over to the Senate and get it to the President.
Now, on Thursday of this week, the House will look at several bills dealing with illegal immigration and sanctuary cities. What do those bills exactly do?
Well, we have to do something about illegal immigration in this country. I give the president a lot of credit. Since he's taken office, our southern border, our illegal immigration has gone down to a trickle. We have to focus on how we secure our southern border, but also the bill we're going to pass tomorrow, one of them, Kate's Law, what it says is, if you've been deported from this country, Kate's Law was a tragic situation where Kate Steinle in San Francisco was murdered by someone that had been deported 5 different times. This law increases the penalties and the enhancements at the federal level to keep people out of the country that get deported. Criminals who come here illegally need to be kept out of this country. We haven't done a strong enough job of doing that. This bill and another bill tomorrow will help our federal authorities with more resources and increasing the penalties. Security for this country comes first, and that has to be a priority. These 2 bills will pass out of the House tomorrow, will help us in that effort.
As always, thank you so much, Representative LaHood, for your time. We truly appreciate it.